up kwenye beats kama vile mimi kesi sema vile breadwinner bila mkaiwa me na join it's crazy na sema kesi ina Adidas
Feel the freshness.
That's music.
Mama kaniuliza how do you sleep at 90?
Oh no, hapa sikatai but nishapunguzia 50 lini. Nikadai ningejisikia sina idea ndo pesa mjini.
Singedai kutachisha lakini uko chini.
Singedai atuchachisha decided hapo uko chini.
Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini. Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini. Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini.
Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini. Nikitoka home chini juni mngara, chum 32 tukidai utaparara, bagi jeans parana Sahara, unikuzo yako bahati angemarwa. When fishy, saka water pond. When chichi, bigger butter, womber, mara. These are the assumptions. Kilda, bila, pena na
Feel the freshness.
We're now listening to the best music.
Feel the freshness.
Singedai kutachisha lakini uko chini.
Singedai atuchachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini.
Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini. Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini. Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini.
Singedai atuchachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini. Oh no, hapa sikatai but nishapunguzia 50 lini. Nikadai ningejisikia sina idea ndo pesa mjini.
Singedai kutachisha lakini uko chini.
Singedai atuchachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini.
Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini. Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini. Singedai kutachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini.
Singedai atuchachisha decided hapo ulikuwa chini.
Every day is Orangeshi there featuring Domani and Cardinali. Welcome everybody to Let's Pop with Iwit on this beautiful Wednesday. I hope you had a restful night wherever you're at. Welcome to the Black Hot Fire Radio Network, media of the 21st century. I hope all is well on you and I hope you're doing amazing drinking your water as you download our app on the Google Play Store. Stream on www.blackhotfireradionetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel, clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. We're definitely continuing with the conversation that we left on Monday, Traitors in Africa. And remember the fact that Ghana received 14 armored vehicles from the U.S. And is it a move to help destabilize? Captain Ibrahim will talk more about that. And also Congo signs the craziest contract with the United States of America. And another conversation about Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger now have one common bank. That's the start of the revolution in regards to everything we've been talking about. And the fact that we are coming together thanks to the light of Ibrahim Tour. But welcome again to Let's Pop with Iwit, where we always talk about redefining Africa as we redefine ourselves, because you are the change you need to see in the world. Before we move forward to the conversation, let's listen into the health and benefits of some of the supplements we do have for you on our website to give you an understanding of what you should definitely be expecting from us.
Discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the sports and nutrition store.
$3.90, you'll definitely get a lot of supplements, different categories of the supplements we do have for you on our website. So you can definitely download our app on the Google Play Store. If you're using the Android device, it's super free. And if you're using the iPhone or your computer, kindly stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com, and it's going to lead you to these amazing pages where you'll find the apparel clothing. We do have the beanie hats, t-shirts, this sandal slides, okay, hoodies with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it, mags, also the Black Hot Fire Radio flag. Also, it will lead you to the side of the supplements. But welcome again to another conversation, continuing from where we left off on Monday regarding traitors in Africa. That's the topic of the day, and we're having a conversation of Ghana that received 14 armed vehicles from the U.S. And it was a question of, was it really a strategy to help destabilize Ibrahim Toure? Because we understand Ghana, Burkina Faso, literally neighbors, like brothers and sisters. And we have to understand, as the awakening is definitely happening, we'll still have sellouts. We'll have people definitely bent down to the United States of America, to this foreign nation, because of, their own selfish interests, not thinking about the people they are literally leading. But you also do know that the people we call leaders are people we kind of should be looking at too. We understand most of them are puppets being controlled, given ultimatums, and that's why we see all of them actually being intimidated by what Captain Ibrahim Toure is doing. And the fact that we do have the president of Ghana, Reparation actually talks more about him. And during the protest in Ghana, and Reparation was one of the individuals who literally was on the street. She was actually calling on Captain Ibrahim Toure to come and lead or govern their countries, because the fact that their water is being poisoned by the Chinese or the companies around them, allegedly from Reparation, and a leader who actually doesn't think about his own people, talks more about even other African nations or countries. We have leaders who will definitely bend down to the strategies of the foreign nation. But here is actually such a heat, because Ghana and Burkina Faso are literally neighbors. And how can they receive 14 armed vehicles from the US? Literally, talk about that. They're saying, I was having a conversation with Reparation, and she said they're talking about the fact that they're going to fight terrorists. And we also do know that they always start this war for a reason, as we also know that fact that if there is war in Africa, it means other foreign nations are definitely developing. And if we are super peaceful, everything is going super well, calm, cool, and collected, it's not good for these other nations that literally put and ground their feet in Africa for their own benefit. But let's listen to this conversation right away in regards to why Ghana received 14 armed vehicles from the US. But as it sounds, you know why, because Burkina Faso and Ghana are literally absolute neighbors.
Ghana has received the armed vehicle from the United States of America as a gift. 14 mine-protected armed vehicles for Ghana. What's the goal? To protect themselves against terrorists in the north. If you look at the north, what country do you see? Burkina Faso. Is this a plan from Ghana and America to destabilize Burkina Faso? If not, what's the goal? We're going to find out about that. And then we're going to go to Burkina Faso. We need to find out why Burkina Faso once upon a time was a friendly country in American lands, but today, clearly it's not, based on what General Langley said.
It doesn't really add up at all. It doesn't really add up at all, because they will look for any strategy to actually diminish the government of Burkina Faso. And what's the most easiest way? Looking for a country that literally is neighboring to Burkina Faso, and quotes and quotes, 14 armed vehicles from the US. Why? Are they planning to start a war which will literally destabilize Burkina Faso?
Then we go to Namibia. Yes, something crazy happened in Namibia, where a Namibian MP said something that you need to watch. We're going to find out about that. And then we're going to move to Botswana. Botswana is a lovely country, as you can see on the map. The president says something that's left everybody in awe, and you want to know about this. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful map. Beautiful place, lovely people. I've spent some of the best time ever in Ghana. Ghana is one of the most stable countries in Africa, no doubt about that. I spent quite a long time in Cape Coast. Very friendly human beings. I even remember, every time I went out, people would say hi to me. Good afternoon, me patro, good afternoon. I'd be like, what? Every time they say good afternoon, there was this lady that said good afternoon every single day. I started having ideas like, why is she saying good morning, good afternoon every day? Is she into me? Then somebody's like, no, brother, this is how we are. We say me patro, good afternoon. So the me patro part means please. Now, that's how they greet you. Me patro, good afternoon. Not good afternoon. So please, good afternoon. Me patro, good morning. Me patro, good evening. Me patro, good afternoon. Me patro. You gotta love Ghana, man.
Okay, Zach, let's continue.
Somebody has to say please before they say good afternoon. You're gonna have a good time. Great stuff. So something crazy is happening in Ghana right now, fellas. Okay. If you're new here, thank you very much for stopping by. You appreciate it. My name is Zach. We like you here. We want you here. Click on.
And thank you for everybody joining right away. Let's follow up with Everton on the Black Hot Fat Radio Network. I can see Byron's Court. How you doing? What's going on in your world?
Button. Subscribe so we can see each other every single day. We're here every single day. Ghana just received armed vehicle from the United States of America. 14 mine-resistant, ambush-protected armed personnel carriers worth over $6 million to Ghana armed forces in a move expected to significantly enhance the country's counter-terrorism and border security operations. So basically, the U.S. is giving Ghana 14 armed vehicles, mine-resistance, to go protect themselves against terrorists.
But this is just an agenda to try and destabilize Captain Ibrahim Traore, literally. Because, hey, he's doing the most. Why not collaborate with him, the president of Ghana? Instead, you're collaborating with the U.S. And we definitely know Ibrahim Traore doesn't bend down, mostly to the U.S. government.
North, look at the map. What do you see in the north of Ghana? It's Burkina Faso. So in other words, they're sending you stuff to protect yourself against potential terrorists. If they are, well, did Ghana refuse?
They will definitely create them, literally, because there's a reason why they had to send these 14 armed vehicles from the United States of America. As we all know, it actually goes back to how they use the aid organizations to actually come and help Africa, but it's not what it really stands for. It makes sense in how they actually send their army to the African nations to come and fight terrorism. Are you kidding me? Terrorism in Africa. Who is sending these folks in Africa? You know, literally. So they have to start something for their own benefit. But also, we also have to understand that people know what's really happening right now, because we had harmony and peace before all these things, before colonization. There was peace and harmony until, you know what? And if you want to destabilize a country or nation, name it, you have to cause an uphill moment. There has to be a chaotic moment for their economic sector not to thrive, but also for the other nations that are literally sending all these armed vehicles to continue to flourish. So that's literally the agenda, because right now Burkina Faso is doing tremendously, fabulously amazing.
No, Ghana said yes. Thank you very much. I like it. They took it. Now you're certainly asking yourself a question. Why would Ghana say yes? Whilst everybody's sort of trying to free themselves from the colonialists or from the imperialists, why is Ghana taking things from people some people perceive as imperialist? Is this counterproductive? Is Ghana onto something perhaps against Burkina Faso? These are the questions people are asking themselves. The official handover ceremony took place on Wednesday in Burma camp in Accra, making what both nations describe as a deepening of bilateral defense cooperation and standing security ties. Deepening cooperations. I mean, people are undeepening the cooperation right now. You look at Burkina Faso undeepening its cooperation with France, same for Mali, same for Niger, Senegal that also asked French to leave. Cote d'Ivoire, why is Ghana deepening right now? Is this productive or counterproductive? Is Ghana cooking something with the US?
I definitely believe so. It does definitely make sense why they're accepting the offer from the United States of America, literally. And the way reparation talks about her president, it's just like, it makes sense. She makes sense right now after doing this research. It definitely makes sense what she always talks about country or Ghana. Let me say that because we're all Africans. I can see Byron Scott. How are you doing? You're saying you're doing a tremendous job. Filling in for Joby. Actually, this is my show. I just started a little bit earlier. It's called Let's Pop with Everton. But thank you so much for that.
Against Burkina Faso. We're going to find out about that. Now, I know you're asking yourself a question. Why did Ghana accept? They shouldn't have accepted. Before we find an answer to this, we're going to go back in time a little bit. Okay, so a few weeks ago, the USA issued a travel advisory against Ghana, meaning do not go to Ghana, at least not like you think you can go at your own risk, because Ghana is not a safe place. In Ghana, people get
You know what? They started. This is what Trump said. Literally, you should not go to Ghana because it's not safe. What do you mean? Something is cooking, and this is what he had to say about Ghana.
In Ghana, people get abducted. In Ghana, people get unalived. That's what they say. As you would think, that's not good publicity, you know, for a country. And that's not very nice. Now, when last did you hear them say, do not go to Belgium, do not go to France, don't abduction?
After they started the deportation strategy, yeah, but before that, it was heaven on earth, so literally going to these other foreign nations. But now they have to start something for them to actually spearhead their agenda. So they have to actually make Ghana not look like a good place, because that's what they did with Africa, or that's what they actually always do with Africa. It's not a good, safe place, but in reality, like, everybody should definitely live here. And in reality also, the world is actually benefiting from Africa. So they have to actually make you feel like that place is not safe, you're not good enough, and everything like that, for them to prosper and for their power to be illuminated, because it's always about power and control.
Should happen in France.
For them, not for us.
France, they do. Don't grape happen in France. They do. Why have they never done that, but they're doing that to Ghana? Well, many people think something interesting happened, something prompts that. Well, I'm going to tell you that. Just a few days before Ghana changed its law when it comes to gold, Ghana is one of the biggest countries with gold reserve, biggest producer.
Does it make sense right now why they're trying to affiliate themselves with Ghana? Always. There's always something to gain. Byron Scott, thank you so much for the comment. I really appreciate that. He's saying, and you look great. Keep a smile on your face, as it should be. Thank you so much.
Of gold. If you look at these guys here, the Akan people, all the stuff they're wearing in their hand, it's gold. Yes, so they have real gold, real power. Now, in Ghana, many people used to come and get gold. Okay, they would buy gold from peasants, from gold traders at a very low price. In other words, many people from multiple countries don't go to the Ghanaian government, but they go find people that are extracting gold, like artisanal gold finder. You go to them. Obviously, this is a villager. He doesn't have a lot of money. He needs money. So you can come and say, look, I see your gold. Oh, it's not very good quality. You know, let me give you $500. But the reality is the gold is actually very good gold. Perhaps it's worth $10,000. And these people will leave sometime with the gold and smuggle them out to neighboring countries, and the government will not get any return. Then Ghana changed its law saying no more buying gold in Ghana by foreigners. All foreigners have to go to Ghana Gold Board, where they will buy the gold from. No more buying from humans and people and stuff. No more unrecognized things, because Ghana wanted the return from the gold, the tax. So many people took the gold out without paying tax. Many people took the gold out at a very low price. So the Ghanaians, with the brand new president, he's the brand new president of Ghana, President Mahama. He was president in the past, he's president again. He's changed the law to benefit Ghanaians. And obviously, America then issued a travel advisory. And many people say the reason why they did that is because a lot of Americans went to Ghana as well to get the gold, same as the Chinese.
Obviously, that's the only way. That's the main thing why they're in Africa, because they know what's cooking in Africa.
People. Now they're trying to prioritize Ghana. Now, before you buy gold, you need to buy gold not in dollars, but in Ghana cedis to give the Ghana currency power.
This sets up a gold board that will streamline Ghana's gold sector, including our exports, to make sure that Ghana earns more value for money from our gold mining exports.
America didn't like that, and they issued a travel advisory. Now, you're asking yourself a question. Why did America give them armed vehicles?
That's the main conversation that we are trying to go deep into. Why did the U.S. literally give 14 armed vehicles to Ghana.
You know from time that America never gives you things for free.
Yes, 100%.
It's always because they want some sort of...
It's a give and take. Like, it's because you have something they need, so they have to actually manipulate with something that you think that you need.
Something back from you. Okay, it's never for free. Okay, we need to have a little bit of control on what's happening in your country. We need to have access, perhaps, to your,
I don't think even that it's little control. I think it's like literally full control of what's happening in your political, economic, social sector, like whether you like it or not.
Resources, if not your platforms, we need to understand what's happening. What is America asking to Ghana in return? Question mark. Again, our question is this one. We know that the United States of America, through General Langley, at least for now, doesn't like the leaders in Burkina Faso very much. Now, why would Ghana accept armed vehicles to fight terrorists coming from the north? That is question number one. Now, let's answer our question. I'm going to give you the pros and the cons, the positive and the negative, so we can see balance. Number one, America issued a travel advisory against Ghana. Do not go to Ghana because it's a dangerous place. People get unalive, they get abducted and stuff.
And that's false, family. That's not true. They have to create a problem and then they have to solve it. But it's not true.
Later on, they offered armed vehicles.
Anybody out there who wants to come visit Ghana, it's super safe. This is just propaganda.
To Ghana. What does that mean? When we say your country is dangerous and you perhaps say, no, it's not dangerous. But then we offer you armed vehicle to fight terrorists and you take them. What does that mean? You are showing that we were right. So you're basically reinforcing or emphasizing the accusation, or at least the statement we made about your country. So it shows that we were right by saying that don't go to Ghana. What we're saying is correct. Number two, on the negative part, that is a very negative message.
Definitely makes sense to scare investors. That is so true. That is so true. Or actually scare a lot of people who are trying to actually move to Ghana and start a life there or invest their businesses there, literally.
Because everybody then believed that Ghana is a dangerous place and America is right to say you shouldn't go to Ghana. Oh, yes, because America just given Ghana 14 armed vehicles to protect themselves against terrorists in the north. But we know Ghana to be one of the safest countries in Africa. That's very controversial, isn't it? How can one of the safest democracies in Africa accept armed vehicles to protect itself against terrorists? It means something negative is happening.
Because there's more to it than the 14 armed vehicles received from the US. There's something deeper about that. And also understanding that Burkina Faso and Ghana, neighbors, brothers, like literally. So what's the main agenda there? Whatever you're thinking, that it's true.
It discourages some very interesting people, perhaps investors, perhaps people looking to come into Ghana, perhaps tourists. Again, it shows poverty. Number three, it shows that Ghana is not independent. Ghana still needs help from foreign nations. Like
the rest of African countries, as they always say, like we literally need help from the US, from Europe, which we don't. They actually need us. So I think they should be saying that out loud than actually always using Africa to actually get their own way. They should actually be saying the opposite more out loud. We'll definitely accept that.
Because Ghana does not have its sovereignty. Because let me tell you something. The end that gives is always above the end that receives. Sometimes you gotta say no to certain things so you can keep your sovereignty.
And the hand that feeds you is the hand that controls you.
Your protectiveness. Now, the big question is this one. Why didn't Ghana say no? Why didn't Ghana say no? Well, it's very simple. If America brings you something as a president and you say no, what does that mean? It shows that you are hostile toward America. I'm sorry, but that's how they're going to perceive it. In most cases, they bring you, oh, these are free things we're giving you. You're like, no, we don't want it.
You don't have to take anything or everything that people give you. That's what I'm learning from this. Also, yes, Ibrahim was like, no, I'm not coming to the White House. I'm too busy actually governing and developing my country here. So you don't have to say yes, because it's the mindset that they have that you always have to say yes to me. When I call, you answer. You spearhead run up to me.
You immediately create an hostile environment between your country and America. And that is not what anybody wants right now. So Ghana perhaps said, okay, diplomatically, let's just say yes to the gift they gave us, or whatever, the track they're giving us, and keep it moving. However, Ghana should have done something on top of that. I'm going to give you an example. Burkina Faso also received help and, maintenance from the United States of America. The U.S.
That was like in 2024, if I'm not wrong. That is true.
Mobility equipment, Toyota Land Cruisers and motorcycles worth $1.6 million to Burkina Faso security forces in February 2024. That is very recent. That's last year. Ibrahim Traore was already in power. Okay, so Traore received help coming from the United States of America. He didn't say no. And you're probably asking yourself a question, why didn't Traore say no? Well, it's very simple. If you say no to America, then you become the enemy. Oh, they don't like us. Because they're going to offer you something just to see how...
Until recently, he said no. I believe he actually learned more about it, and he's like, no. Literally, if someone is trying to hand over anything or hand over a gift to you, literally, they means they want to control a part of your sector in the government.
What's the balance? Everybody knows Traore is the friend of the Russians. But we're trying to offer you something and you say no, it means you are our enemy. Well, we're going to bring you democracy. People need to be very cautious. As much as you have a stance and a position, you need to keep a diplomacy very flexible. But there's something interesting Burkina Faso did through Ibrahim Traore. By the time he took the gift from Americans in Toyota Land Cruisers and motorcycles, which they use up until today, Ibrahim Traore made a speech saying, very subtly, he says, even though you can receive, a gift coming from somebody who's been your enemy for a long time, you can't forget who they are. So you can receive something from somebody while still being cautious. He said that while talking to his military. He didn't say America, but he said that the people read between the lines. That is something that Ghana has not done. Should have Ghana said no? Some people will say yes. Why? Because then it shows that you're a strong country, you're independent, you're sovereign. Just like Ghana recently asked for its gold reserve stocked in America to return to Ghana. Remember that. In a show of sovereignty, by accepting the gift from America, you confirming their theory, saying that your country is in danger in the north. Now, does this mean that Ghana and the United States of America are plotting something against Burkina Faso? No, not at all. Ghana is a very peaceful country. And number two, we know the current president, Mahatma, is somebody that's really very peaceful, very Pan-Africanist. Just remember when he was instated in power, Burkina Faso president went to say hi, went to greet him. He doesn't do that for most other presidents. Unlike the previous president, Nana Akufo, who was very hostile toward Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali.
Today, Russian mercenaries are on our northern border. Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with...
Like, Ibrahim Traore is very choosy when it comes to shaking hands with anybody. He's very choosy on that. I've actually seen that a couple of times.
In employing the Wagner forces there. I believe a mine in southern Burkina has been allocated to them as a form of payment for their services. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly distressing for us in Ghana. We can have you as a partner in confronting these threats. It is very important that ECOWAS and the West African area remains a democratic space. It's the reason for the actions we took over the coup d'etats in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Guinea. And ECOWAS has been very consistent in refusing to deal with these governments because of the undemocratic nature of their accession to power.
The new president is different. Now, America has gifted things to Cote d'Ivoire. Look at the map. Yeah, they've given them equipment. They've also given Benin equipment. You see on the map? Now they're giving it to Ghana. What does this look like? They look like neighboring countries to Burkina Faso. Now, are they plotting perhaps something? Be friends with the neighbors until we surround them and go inside. Well, that's speculation. So more than 40 Ghanaian soldiers are receiving specialized training over the past 4 weeks on the operation and maintenance of the vehicles that were gifted by Americans. And now we're moving to Namibia. In Namibia, an MP said something very interesting about Ibrahim Traore. He said, how can we not move forward? Why are we struggling to make the country better with all the resources we have? Ibrahim Traore, who is not a democracy, is moving forward. Listen to him.
You see, Traore has become a hero to Professor. I and him will really compare about Traore. But he's doing two good things. He becomes an international icon. a young guy, younger than many of us. Traore has changed the price of uranium. France was buying uranium from Burkina Faso for $1 billion every year. He stopped the French to buy this uranium. Today, Burkina Faso is making 85 billion from the same resource. We are selling uranium here. We have no nuclear power. We are just talking, everything is nuclear. We are just selling. Whether the Chinese are paying us the best price or not, we don't know. We are also afraid. What if they walk out of this deal? But Traore, a young man, a soldier, has changed his country. That's why Traore is now building up factories.
Yeah, and I believe that's why the U.S. is super threatened by Burkina Faso. And it actually makes sense the reason why they'll send these armed vehicles to Ghana.
Processing plants or agro-processing, because he has resources. We have these resources. When we say some of these things must not be said in the open, but let's drink coffee and talk about the future of our country.
That is so true. It's time to talk about the future. It's time to actually work on it or actually be it, because we can see that it's possible.
We don't listen to one another.
Very, very interesting.
That is true. We don't listen to one another.
Interesting point you say there. Burkina Faso is.
We don't listen to one another. We don't support each other. We are not united. That's how it starts. That's where we fail as Africans. The moment you don't lift your brother or sisters up, the moment you don't help your brother or sister, the moment you don't unite with your brother and sister, that's where we fail as Africans. That's the only factor that we're literally where we are right now.
Because it's not a democracy. You don't have to go through so many paperwork. Well, there's a point of correction there. He said Burkina Faso is using its uranium.
Hello, Karanja. How are you doing?
Peace, sister. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me. It's been a minute. We've been trying to work on this interview for quite a while since you left ours, but you're here right now. What's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, how are you doing? What's happening? Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. All good. So far, so good. We've been, keeping it going.
As it should be. I am talking about Traitors in Africa, and it's a conversation here regarding Ghana receives 14 armed vehicles from the U.S. And it's a question of is it literally their aim to destabilize Captain Ibrahim Traore? Because Ghana and Burkina Faso are absolute neighbors. And we've seen Ibrahim Traore literally not bending to anybody at all. And he's in collaboration with the Russians, right? And if you're friends with the Russians, obviously you're the enemy of the United States of America. So we're just trying to figure out, what's the main reason why Ghana will literally openly receive these 14 armed vehicles. And before that, they had announced that Ghana is not a safe place to go, which is a lie. It's all propaganda for a reason. And we also understand that if there's war in Africa, it means these other foreign nations, they're flourishing and doing the best. They're becoming the best version of themselves, right? If there's war in Africa. And I feel like maybe they're talking about the fact that there might be potential terrorism happening in Ghana. And it's like, where is that coming from? But they always create all these atrocities for them to actually be on the top. I don't know what's your take on that. If you've heard about it, I'm not sure.
Questions. America, I read in the past somewhere that America has no friends. America just has interest. So whatever move they are making, that.
I'm losing you.
Assistance. It's not friendship. They have their questions. There must be questions.
Can you hear me? I think I'm losing you.
You hear me? I think
I'm sorry. I can't hear you at all. But before he comes back again, we're going to continue with this conversation.
Yeah, he made a mistake. That's Niger. Well, Burkina Faso does not have uranium. Even though the mapping has showed some residue, they don't extract uranium in Burkina Faso. However, Burkina Faso have massive reserve of gold, manganese, zinc, copper, lithium. That's the idea, you understand. It means, why can't we move forward like Burkina Faso is moving right now? Burkina Faso is not a democracy, okay? Traoré said it's not a democracy.
And if we need to say it loud and clear here, we are not in a democracy. We are indeed in a revolution.
Because democracy is not naturally African. And it's very difficult to make a country better when it is a democracy. Democracy is an end goal. Okay. Sometimes nations need a leader that wants the good for the nation and is making the right moves within the frame of the legality and the constitution, without having to go through processes and processes. Let's listen to the president of Botswana. Numa Gideon Boko is the brand new president of Botswana. He has something very interesting to say about Ibrahim Traoré. Listen.
And I see people making uncanny comparisons with Paul Kagame, my good friend Ibrahim Traoré. And I say, some of these folks are operating in a slightly different environment, where their word is obeyed instantly, without question. It's a different environment. You say, this guy is not doing things. Traoré is doing them. Traoré wakes up, dreams them up. Following morning, he makes a pronouncement. It is law. It is policy. Action follows. And I wake up and I say stuff, they look at me and say, what is this? What is this man talking about?
So what he's basically saying here is complaining about the system. Okay, a lot of African presidents are now understanding that it's very difficult to construct or build a country within the frame of democracy. The democracy system in Africa in general.
Hello, Karanja, are you here? Can you hear me right now?
Yes, I hear you, sister.
Oh, thank you so much for coming back again. You were saying something before we had a little bit of glitch.
Yes, I was talking about the situation whereby America has sent like military assistance to Ghana. And I was saying that I've read somewhere earlier that America has no friendships or friends. They just have, America just have their interest, American interest. So the kind of moves we see, the support you see, it's not about friendship, it's about interest. So the question is, what are they interested in, you know, with the current situation in Africa, the current, the recent outbursts from the U.S. against Traoré, you know, those kind of moves they are starting to make. We have to, you know, to ask questions and be alert, because America has interests, not friendships. So it's not about,
Yeah, it's about power and domination for them. We also understand that Ghana has the largest supply of gold. Talk about minerals, as we've actually seen a while back. And also, they always want to control, not even like always, they still control a lot of countries in Africa. So they still want to keep that power and domination, right? And we understand that right now they're not in good affiliation with Burkina Faso. So what's the right strategy to get their attention? I believe the fact that Ghana accepted their collaboration literally makes sense right now, you know?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue.
So I mean, with the kind of, you know, movements that are happening in the Sahel and Russia collaboration, you know, the US also is waking up and trying to tighten their ties with some African countries. For example, Ghana. Yeah. That's why they're making such moves.
They have to do it because they definitely depend on Africa. But before we move forward for another conversation, we're going to go on a short break regarding the supplements we do have on our website to give your listeners and the watchers a glimpse of what we do have for you on our website.
Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just one tablet a day is all you need Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
$2.90, you'll get amazing absolute supplements on our website. If you're using the Android, you can definitely get it for free because you can download the app on the Google Play Store and also stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel, clothing. Brother Karanja, we have a conversation here regarding Congo. Did sign the craziest contract with the United States of America. Let's listen in.
Democratic Republic of Congo is going to be the latest African country to accept Starlink of Elon Musk. We know Elon Musk has been pushing Starlink very, very strongly across Africa with some resistance. We also know that every country that has resisted the accessibility of Starlink has been facing Donald Trump's wrath big time. We can name Lesotho. They were under a lot of pressure, and then they changed across and say Starlink can come. We're going to get into that. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. It's just Facebook or Instagram will stop and WhatsApp would stop. Why? Because Nigeria is asking for a lot of money from it. We're going to find out just now. Okay, so let's get back on track. We are in DRC. Here's the map. The beautiful thing about this place is we talk about places. We also show you the map so you know where we're talking about. It's family. We cannot pretend everybody.
And we also understand, Brother Karanja, literally right away that Congo has the most valuable minerals of all time. I don't know if I did share the video. I'm really sorry. Let me do that right away.
It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. We're going to talk about many things today. We're going to dive into Congo, DRC. We will dive into Burkina Faso, where something very, very great is happening right now. Coca-Cola is investing big time in Burkina Faso. Then we're going to go to Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria. Meta or Facebook will not be operating in Nigeria anymore. Yes. Now, we don't know if it's just Facebook or Instagram will stop and WhatsApp would stop. Why? Because Nigeria is asking for a lot of money from Meta. We're going to find out just now. Okay, so let's get back on track. We are in DRC. Here's the map. The beautiful thing about this place is we talk about places. We also show you the map so you know where we're talking about. It's family. We cannot.
Why they had to actually sign that contract with the United States of America regarding Starlink.
Pretend everybody understand. I think it is our duty to make sure everybody in this community feels comfortable. Great stuff. Is it beautiful or not? There you go. So let's do this just to show that it's beautiful, that we show the maps. There you go. DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Just so you can understand, there are two Congos. There's Congo Republic and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The two different countries. Well, some of the people used to be the same people back in time until colonialism came. One of the Congos was colonized by the French. This other one was colonized by the Belgians. This is the Congo that has a lot of wars and killings and stuff. Anyway, Democratic Republic of Congo said on Friday it had become the latest African country to grant a license to take billionaire Elon Musk. Starlink, the company, will be in operation soon. I know this raises a lot of questions. Now, the satellite internet provider is rapidly expanding its service on the continent and operating more than a dozen countries now, including Somalia and Lesotho. War-torn Congo has low connectivity, with just around 30% of the population using the internet in 2020.
A network, or it's my network? My internet?
I'm sorry? I believe it's on your end, Brother Karanja. Sorry about that.
How is it on your side? Are you able to play the video continuously?
Yes, it's perfect on my side.
Oh, okay. That means it's my internet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you still able to follow up on it?
In human beings, and only 30% have access to Google. Crazy stuff. Well, this is crazy because the government had previously resisted allowing Starlink access to the country, with military official warning it could be used by rebel groups, including Rwandan-backed M23.
It's so amazing because the whole time I was actually thinking about the same thing. like it can be used against them. And I believe that's the main reason. And also the fact that the world actually is operating on everything that is being used, that is being derived from Congo. Talk about all the minerals, the technology, everything being derived from Congo. So it actually makes sense. Maybe, not even maybe, it's being used against them. Maybe they're trying to spy, or that's the main thing, literally. I don't know what about you, Karanja, if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but you keep on breaking. I think where I am, the network is not really good.
Alrighty, we'll just continue then with the conversation.
Which has seized more territory than ever before in the east side of the country. So government military say that they shouldn't allow Starlink in the country because Starlink being a satellite internet service provider, it could be used by rebel groups in the Congo to attack the government. Well, Congo has about 100 different small portions of rebellions, crazy stuff. The country's been through the most for the past 30 years. It's mayhem, women being taken by force. You know what I mean by taken by force? People being unalive, butchered, crazy, insane. Why? Because Congo is a rich nation. They have gold, diamonds, coltan, uranium. Yes, the uranium used to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki was extracted from Congo and Shikorobo. This is where it was extracted. So the country is enough goods to feed everybody. Congo,
enough goods to feed everybody, I'm telling you. And there's war in Congo. There has been ongoing war in Congo because of its wealth.
Where is the Inga power plant? This power plant in the Congo, if it's functional, could supply the entire Africa with electricity. Congo is the richest country in the world in
the entire Africa with electricity, family. Oh my goodness.
The country has enough goods to feed everybody. Congo has the Inga power plant. This power plant in the Congo, if it's functional, could supply the entire Africa with electricity. Congo is the richest country in the world in terms of mineral. Every cell phone in the world, if you use a cell phone, you should be thinking about the Congo. Because
every cell phone, family, it makes sense why there's war in Congo each and every day, each and for decades, literally. And this has to stop. Yeah, it has to. It just doesn't make sense because the Congolese are not peaceful. Most of them are literally always fleeing from their own to go and look for a very peaceful land, you know, because all these wars is literally just all strategized so that they can keep looting and stealing and continue to control the mineral sector, economic sector of this country.
Of it that come from the Congo. Electric cars will not function without the Congo. That is one of the reasons why they want the country to be within mayhem and be crazy. Because if the country is at peace, then you're going to have to pay the right price for the goods. But if the country is at war, then you can cooperate with small
Did I just say that?
rebel portions, supply them with weapons, and buy things at a cheaper price for them. Now, we're going to talk about the Congo. If you want us to talk about the Congo comprehensively, please write on the comment section. Please talk about the Congo, and we will talk about it. Now, why has the Congo reversed its policy of saying we will not allow Starlink in the country because Starlink may allow rebel groups to use it to bombard us? DRC has been accusing Rwanda of meddling in the country. There are rebel groups in the Congo named M23. These M23, according to the Congo, are supported by Rwanda. So in other words, Rwanda is just lying. They created M23, and M23 goes to the Congo to loot, to steal, to take gold, diamonds, uranium, and coltan, and many of the riches, produce over $600 million per month whilst pretending.
Did you know about that, Brother Karanja? Did you know about Rwanda intermeddling in Congo's business? And that's why they're literally super rich right now, or basically they are the developing African country. Did you know that?
Well, you know, the recent crisis with the M23 has really exposed a lot of conversations about Congo and Rwanda, and you realize
I lost your brother.
Some people are taking advantage of the situations there. and the whole world is also, taking advantage because they corporations and these powerful people, business people, they don't want to play a fair game. So, any kind of and the individualism with everyone, everyone is trying to take advantage of the situation. And
Yeah. I did lose you again.
Yeah.
I had lost you for a moment, so I didn't actually hear what you said.
They just want the materials cheap. They want to get them very cheap.
And it's also so sad to know that it's your own brothers and sisters selling you out. Like the fact that it's actually very sad.
This is a saying that says, actually, not the cut that hurts much is when you look at who is holding the knife or who actually is holding the axe that killed the person who was cut. Not actually the cut itself, but realizing is my brother who stabbed me at my back.
Yeah. And that's one thing we don't have as Africans. We don't have unity. We don't have unity. That's why we fail. That's why we fail. But we also have to understand, like, I'm sorry, during this revolution, we're going to have traitors because they're always going to be thinking about their own interests and not about my sister or my brother.
Individualism. That's the virus we need to first of all kill. If Africa want to move ahead and realize the unity we've been talking about, singing about, and yearning for forever, we first of all have to address the person in the mirror and this individualism, and bring back the communal life, the Ubuntu social.
Yes, that is so true. And you know what? It starts with me and you. It starts with you with your neighbor back at home. It starts with you with your colleagues at the office. It starts with you with anybody at the road, That's how it starts. I lost you again. But that's how it starts, family. As we move forward, before we come to the end of the show,
to be Congolese, whilst in the meantime they are actually Rwandese. That is the version of Congo. Rwanda separated himself from M23. They say they have nothing to do with them.
Does Rwanda currently have any troops at all in Eastern DRC?
This interview just made me question the leaders we do have in Africa. Just take a listen.
I don't know. Does Rwanda currently have any troops at all in Eastern DRC?
I don't know.
You're the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, there are many things I don't know. But if you want to ask me, is there a problem in Congo?
He's just saying, what do you mean you don't know? You are the president of Rwanda. This was just it made me question a lot about the leaders we do have, honestly. He just said, I don't know, like 1,000 times, the whole interview.
Does Rwanda currently have any troops at all in Eastern DRC?
I don't know.
You're the commander-in-chief.
He knows.
Yeah, there are many things I don't know.
No, you know all things, Mr. Kagame. We know you know.
If you want to ask me, is there a problem in Congo that concerns Rwanda and that Rwanda would do anything to protect itself? I'd say 100%.
Protect itself. You talked about individualism, Brother Karanger. Look where this is actually leading right now.
Does this risk a war in the region?
I don't know.
But
oh my goodness.
That image has shown that Rwandan government support M23. Now, Congolese people
I have to watch this. I have to watch this. Sorry, I had been kicked out. My internet had gone out and I was out and then back. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Maybe you missed me. Did you realize?
No, I didn't realize, but it's all good.
Sorry.
It happens. Were you saying something regarding the statement or the video that I just showcased?
I've not watched it actually. I would like to watch it.
Okay, we're gonna go back again. Welcome, Mr. Newsom.
What's going on? What's happening every time? What you say?
I'm just welcoming you to the show.
Oh, okay. All right. What's the discussion every time? Talking about?
It's a continuation of the topic that I was discussing on Monday: Traitors in Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. And you got Kagame up there, this boot-licking, handkerchief head CIA agent.
Yes.
this disgusting ass phony. Yeah.
Also, you have the president of Ghana.
Well, they're all traitors. They're all puppets. They've all been puppets. That's why even Torre is such a breath of fresh air, and is causing, the West to try to kill him over and over and over and over again, because he's finally taking back African respect, African dignity. They said the Africans have too long have been it's cowards. So these puppets have sold out the continent to these no good, you love them, you no good Europeans who have been stealing and keeping that. Nobody in Africa should ever have been poor. The richest continent on the planet. Should be any poverty in Africa. So that's what he's saying. Doesn't make sense for Africa to be the richest continent and the people be poor. So there's a disconnect there. Something's going on. So it's the indoctrination of all these fake ass religions, your fake Christianity, your fake ass Islam, and turning your back on African cultures, and you adopting everybody else's culture and thinking that you're less, and they've indoctrinated you thinking that you're less than everybody. And the Africans by nature, kind and loving. That's our nature, kind and loving by nature. But people have taken advantage of your kind and loving nature, and you've allowed it. So part of it is Africa's fault, but it's not completely, because we were invaded by savages. You put savages on pedestals. So it's the coming back of your senses. And like I said, there's an awakening happening in Africa, and these puppets are going to be toppled. They're not going to be able to stop the domino effect. Because now you got Senegal now linking up also with Burkina Faso and the Sahel. So you have a toppling and a uniting, which the European didn't want, but except these fake countries. Kenya, Uganda, these countries are all fake. Burkina Faso, like I said, white people create these fake ass borders. All these borders in Africa are fake. And so Africans have been playing this division. I'm this tribe. I don't give a damn about your goofy tribe. Your tribe has done nothing to protect African people. So your tribalism is you being a child. Child Ibram, you got to get rid of your tribal shit. Because as African people, you're one people. And united is how you can fight the Asians and the Europeans. Divided, I want to be my tribe, and what tribe am I? I don't give a term. I'm African. They come in, what tribe are you from? Hey, get away from me. Tell me what that tribe shit. I'm African. That's the tribe I'm from. From the African tribe. That's the tribe I'm from. If you don't like that, get out my face. Because African people have got to understand power. And so that's what Ibrahim Traore said. You've been left without power. And you've allowed yourself to be, okay, I'll just go and pray to Allah, pray to Jesus. And hey, that shit ain't done you no damn good. So the praying shit and the tribalism shit is nonsense. You must acquire power. At all costs, you must come together as a unit, and your number one thing is to acquire power. Anything less than that is nonsense. I don't want to hear about none of I don't want to hear about your religion. I don't give a fuck about it. I don't want to hear about your dumbass tribe. If it don't get us power, what good is it? As Dr. John Henry Clark told us years ago, everything you do as an African has got to now be maneuvered for power, because other people have dictated and dominated African people. So shout out to Ibram. He's talking about power, and that's it. Power at all costs. So, and you traitors are going to. All these African leaders are traitors. Rudo, that's a puppet. And Muhammad and Donna, when you hear reparations going all crazy, we gotta get rid of everybody. We gotta get reparations be going crazy. We gotta close the borders.
Of their president. Like, oh my God, it actually makes sense why she's always upset when talking about this president.
Yeah, because he's a con. They're all con men. They all they're being exposed right now. We're not seeing the news. Cote d'Ivoire. I don't like calling these goofy cunts. These are white people names. Anyway, Cote d'Ivoire is now the youth are erupted, and they might overthrow the government themselves because they're out in the streets. But you don't see none of these white news media. So, like I said, it was going to be a spark that came. It was never going to be Nigeria. Nigeria's too backward. It's too tribal. Nigeria was never the African giant. You can't even call yourself a Nigerian because you got too many goofy tribes. They don't call themselves Nigerian. I'm Yoruba. I'm Igbo. I'm this. I'm that. I'm Hausa. Get out of here. So it was never going to come from Nigeria, no matter the population being big. So Kenya had started to spark last year by finally being educated enough and fearless enough and getting in the streets. So this is becoming a domino effect. And so Ibram Traoré popping up as well is putting the strain on Europe. See, Europe is nothing but Africa. See, you remember, Ayrton, when they first took over the Sahel, right? Europe said, we're going to sanction you, black. We're going to sanction you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And we're going to cut off diplomatic ties with you. Okay? Cool. So what did he do? He said, well, do what you do. So you don't realize the African, Europe doesn't have anything. Without Africa, Europe's impoverished. Europe has always been poor. That's their history. They've never been rich without Africa. They got the nerve to disrespect African people when they come from a poor-ass continent. So with them capturing Africa, they've been able to fake their time like they're wealthy. That's an illusion. So now you see them now, Ayrton, now coming back to Bikini Faso and begging, hey, we need to be partnership. We need to talk and let's not cut up the relationship. Why? Didn't you place sanctions on me? Didn't you just say we must go back to your fake democracy that's not real? They control all these fake ass democracies. So now you see Europe collapsing, Ayrton, right? Europe is now collapsing because they need those African minerals. Africa's never poor. So imagine what kind of psychopath you are to steal from a people for so long, leave them in poverty, leave African people with nothing. Imagine what kind of psychopath you are. And then when Africans start to assert themselves, say no more. We're not going to be your lapdogs and stay in poverty and underdevelopment. Oh, you know what? We want to come and be your partner, Ayrton. We want to be your partner. After you invaded my house here, after I invaded your house, Ayrton, left your butt naked, raped your mama, brutalized your sons, kept you ignorant, put you in the outhouse of your own home, and then come back and tell you, I want to be your partner. That's what they're telling you. And so what you see now, if you understand that Africa has a different, you don't even know if they will tell you this investment. Invest in what? When does Africa ever need investments where I got it? Africa's the only continent that can feed the whole world. That industries come from Africa. Africa was used to build Asia. We think China came from. China was poor as hell 40 years ago. Like I try to tell people. Poorer than Africa. Couldn't even feed themselves. But the Europeans decided, you know what? We're going to go to China because we didn't want. It would have been smart if they did in Africa, right? Because Africa is where the minerals came from. Their scheme is to always keep African people on the bottom. So they say, okay, we're going to build factories in China and help China. And so China became a power by Europeans putting their factories there, the iPhones, the technology. But China was smart enough to take European technology and teach their children how to mimic it and then surpass it. See, because it would have been cheaper to build the factories in Africa, but the scam, the dirty secret is to keep Africans impoverished. That's the scam. Because China doesn't have any goddamn minerals. Always. That's the scam.
Yeah.
And so now you got dumbass Africans worshiping China. Hey, moron! China was built by you. China was built by you. And you need to get that through your head and stop groveling all the time. China was built by you. The Europeans took your stuff out of Africa to build Asia. Just like they, after World War II, they built Europe. We think the Chinese are there in Africa now. They're there to be your goddamn friends. Grow the hell up. They're there because you're wealthy and they want it. Not there to be your buddies. But that's okay. You use them until you get on your feet. That's okay. You need to know they're not there to be your friends. Chinese people are racist as shit. But that's okay.
And all the malls they're in
Africa. Yeah, the malls that's what because people don't come to poor places here trying to make money. They keep Africans poor because you haven't asserted yourself for 500 years. You've allowed everybody to come and dominate, and then if they come, you've accepted their culture. They told you your culture was backward. You're tribal. That's another way to easily control you because you hate each other. You love everybody else, but you hate other Africans. Then you're fucked up in the head. You love everybody else, but you hate other Africans.
I believe also Africans do not understand power. Like the fact that you said China was literally.
But that's what's going on. But that's what's going on. That's what you got.
Understand power, right?
Well, yeah, because they're starting to build their own military equipment.
Yeah.
See, Burkina Faso said when they were these goofy puppets 30 years ago, you can look at these dumbass African leaders, these morons, these no good traitors ass bastards, signed an agreement that they're not going to build arms. They're not going to build a real military in Africa. They signed this shit for the Europeans.
No
which is crazy. You can look it up. They signed, all these puppets signed it. And Ibram said, we're not going along with none of that shit. Are you crazy? We're going to start developing military equipment, weapons, because Africa is vulnerable because it's never built a real military. We got these fake, there's no real military in fucking Africa. That's why all these fake terrorist groups are put there by white people to keep Africa destabilized. So he said, we're going to have to build a real military. And so he's taking his people and built military factories. And you can look this up, Irritan. So go to Google and say, what are some of the new Burkina Faso made military weapons? And you'll see they're starting to manufacture there. As an adult, you're supposed to goddamn build weapons. This white man had me run around the damn world, killing for his ass when I'm in his damn military. He had no problem with that. So Ibram is starting to make his own, good ass weapons, military vehicles, because he knows they're going to come for him. You know, they tell me they want to be your friend and partnership. Did you try to kill me 20 times every time? Ain't you been trying to assassinate my black ass? But now you come and talking about some, and you keep coming down. You come and talking about some peace.
Burkina Faso launches Africa's most powerful military. We also have Burkina
That's
Faso
right.
to establish its first defense industry. Yeah,
That's right.
So that's happening.
Exactly. As an adult, that's what you're supposed to do. These people have been stealing from you. Says you read that. That's what you're supposed to have been did. 60 years ago, you're supposed to did that. But all these puppets were like Jomo Kenyatta's stupid ass. That was a puppet. He never fought with the Mau Mau. Mau Mau couldn't stand it. He's a puppet that the British installed in Kenya. All these puppets were installed. Now some people, you got the fake story about Nelson Mandela, no good ass. A puppet installed. Anytime you shout out to Samoa Michelle Mozambique. Anytime you hear white people praising you, you know you sold out black people. That's why you hear white people praising Nelson Mandela or Martin Luther King boot licking ass. This con man ass nigga in America, this Martin Luther King moron. Martin Luther King, who was paid by your enemies. And now black people in America realize, hey, Martin Luther King might not have been our hero. No, moron. He wasn't paid by you. He wasn't put there by you. That's why white people worship his ass. That's why you hear him on the media. You know, any leader you hear him talking good about, you know they betrayed you as an African. That's why you hear him talking good about Ibram. Every time we talk about Ibram, it's always some propaganda. Oh, he killed 100 of his people, which is a lie. That was the terrorists that did it. But they tell you, but they think they can still run the same mind control games that they've been running to African people. Like I told you, why do you think Africa's the only place you got school fees? Because the thing is to keep Africans, school is fucking free. You're not supposed to pay no goddamn school fees. When I was going to Africa, I was like, what? When I went to Kenya, Ghana, I was, what's with this school fee shit? School is fucking free.
All of my friends are always perplexed about it. Like when they're coming back from the States, they're like, oh my God, you guys pay school fees.
Exactly. Exactly. Because they did that on Africa on purpose. Because they want to keep Africans ignorant here. They kept you poor and you can't pay for the school fees. That's on purpose. That's the scam. That's why Ibram did what? Puts free schools in Burkina Faso. You're not supposed to pay for no goddamn school. That used to anger me to know. I'm like, what? School fees? What? Who the fuck is paying school fees? What is this shit?
In Africa, honey. That's
I know. I didn't know every time. But I went to Kenya. I said, this is Africa. What? It's only in black Africa, not in the Arab countries, not in the fake Arab countries who invaded Africa. You fake ass Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, these white people, white Arabs who invaded that part of northern Africa and stole that land from the original black Africa. You got some morons. That's how the education level so bad. You got some morons in Africa think those people in northern Africa are Africans. Motherfucker, they hate you. They're not no Africans. So, that's why they did that. Every time I say school fees, what do you mean you pay school fees? Yeah, we pay school, we pay fees. I was like, what? What? Are you out of your rabbit ass mind? I said, oh, this is why they keep Africa. Oh, this is the ignorance. Okay, I get it now. Because I didn't, when I first went to Africa, every time so many years ago, I didn't understand why Africans were so ignorant, didn't know shit. They didn't know shit about Africa. That used to hurt my heart. I'm like, what?
And
I'm in Africa. Good, every time.
Learning everything that is not about us. Everything else, but not anything about us.
Nothing about you. Is that and what Ibram say in the spirit? What Ibram say? We gotta change this curriculum that teaches about white people and nothing about our own history. That's what you've been given. That's why you've been given. That's why you go to Africa and all these goddamn schools. You gotta read the Bible or the Quran. Like, what the fuck is this?
And learning
all around the world. This is illegal. If you want to teach that Bible shit or that Islamic shit, you teach it in your home. You don't put that in no school. It is illegal in Europe, illegal in America to read the Bible. You teach that shit in your home. You don't bring that shit to no school. And that's compensatory in Africa to keep you over-religious, to keep you backward and stupid. I said, boy, these Europeans, boy, they're wickedly genius. There's some wicked genius shit here. They're wickedly. This keeps Africans impoverished, backward for generations. This is crazy. I was like, wow. And so Ibram is addressing everything I said. He's like, remember the song, he said, we're going to give you 200 mosques. He said, we don't need no mosques. We need schools. We need hospitals. We don't need no more places to pray. We can pray outside because that's called soft power. The European and white Arabs know they stole Africa with these goofy religions. They know that. Well, I told you I'm impoverished, and you want to give me some more churches and mosques? What am I do with that airtime? I need good schools. Oh, dang, the airtime, did the lights go off? That's what I'm talking about. I think the power went out over there. Let me see. I think airtime's gone. Anyway, family. So like I said, I told you there's going to be an awakening of African people. The youth were coming back knowing. Well, listen to the fake ass old niggas, the old elders. Let's just be quiet. Let's go pray. Let's go do. Nah, you go pray. Praying ain't done shit. We're impoverished. You got slums. Africa never had no damn slums till white people showed up. We'll never no slums in Africa, ever. They don't teach you none of this history. You think Africa is poor. Africa's rich. Always been rich. I think we lost airtime, brother. What's your name, brother?
Oh, peace, brother. That's Brother Karanja here.
All right. How you doing today, brother? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm black.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I think right there. I can't even get a damn generator for the studio. They tell me you get a generator. People be jealous. Jealous of what? Shit. Shouldn't no lights be going off in Africa at all? All the mills come to Africa, and Africa's the one with all the power failures. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
You wanna buy a generator? You wanna buy a generator for the...
No, I wanted to buy a generator, but they say I can't buy a generator because people in there will get jealous. the people in the building will get jealous if I buy a generator. They told me.
No, you motivate them. You will motivate them. You buy, then they can also feel a challenge, and they can,
I don't know. Job and them told me I can't buy it. people get jealous. They told me. I said we need a generator. We have a power outages and shit. We can't be doing media and the power goes out. It's crazy. We can't, we got to have backup systems. But I think they told me about one backup system though. So it was one Joe, but we can keep it inside. There's a new system that they show me. I need to go ahead and get it. But how are you, brother? You everything good with you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Celebrating the life of Malcolm X since his birthday.
All right. There you go. That's right. That's what we're talking about. Malcolm X. That's right. Not Martin Luther King ass. Malcolm X.
But also Martin Luther also towards the end he also realized he should be moving.
That was all fake. At the end, I think I messed up. Nah, that was just some shit he was saying. He was controlled, brother, by a group of people that have the same agenda to always keep black people on the bottom. That's always their main agenda. They always put see, Martin Luther King was found as a juxtaposition against Malcolm X. See, Malcolm X was gaining too much steam. And so they had to find another Negro that was more palatable, right? They wanted to be palatable, so they're going to promote. Yeah, instead of being a revolutionary, they need you to calm down and bring Martin Luther King. So he was always he was never about our freedom. He was sponsored by black people. The white power structure funded him. And that's what they don't want to teach you. They don't want to tell you that the white power structure, who hate our ass, was funded him. They funded MLK. They created that. All these structures, but see, through their media, Martin Luther King fought for justice and equality. It sounds good, right? Sounds great, but it never changed anything because that wasn't the main agenda. The main agenda was to destroy the American Negro. And it did that. We're worse off today than we were before Martin Luther King. We're worse off today, brother, than we were before MLK. We're worse off. Let's say, but that's okay. The blacks in America were worse off today than we were before MLK. and his fake ass dream. we're worse. We're worse off today. Yeah, our schools were
Something great.
destroyed. Our businesses were destroyed. Yeah, but worse off today. Our businesses were destroyed. Our schools were destroyed. So we're dumber today than we were 60 years ago, brother. We're dumber today. We were completely dumbed down. We're dumber today than we were 60 years ago. These are facts. So what? So how is this dream helping us when we're dumber today? you know, we're dumber today.
But we have an opportunity, to revive the Malcolm X energy.
Yeah, that's the engine we gotta have. Exactly, brother. But see, that's the engine they wanted us to turn away from. See, white people never celebrated Malcolm. There's no celebration of him because that's what they never wanted you to indoctrinate within your spirit, within your soul.
Yeah, that's a real deal. That's a real deal. He's a real deal.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they wanted to keep you to. Everybody want to move you to Nelson Mandela, this phony, or MLK, these phonies. They want you to practice that model that doesn't work, that never worked. It made white people feel good. See, they don't want you to have. Go ahead, Mr. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying on that note, like you quoted this leader, Baba Samora Machel, who exposed them and said, when one day you hear the white people praise me, then I've sold out.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why you show these Nelson Mandela movies, and we love Nelson Mandela. This sellout. Ask yourself, okay, if Nelson Mandela do anything, why are Africans in South Africa the poorest, don't have anything, struggling, just horrible conditions? When I went to South Africa, it made me cry. It's so bad. Conditions are so bad for black people there, and they're so indoctrinated, so disrespected. So what did he do? You can't tell me nothing Nelson Mandela did to benefit black people. Nothing. That's why they celebrate his ass.
They sing some good lullaby to the black people. These kind of leaders, they are celebrated by white people because they are singing some good lullabies to the blacks.
Exactly, my brother. That's exactly it. Good lullabies. Keep these black people asleep. Exactly right. That's exactly it. Keep their ass asleep and unconscious. Exactly right.
Yeah, speak, some good melodies, some tough, sleeping melodies. But when you come up with real shit like Malcolm, like a real soldier, no, they put you down.
Exactly. So exactly. Exactly. They're gonna get rid of you, and they don't want you. You're not gonna be seeing a whole bunch of commercials and people talking about them not in the mainstream media. It'll be only you that. It'd be only us that keep the memory going. That's it.
No one is gonna try to add volume or to try to multiply what you are saying. They're gonna try to dim your light.
Exactly. So with this waking up in Africa, it's scaring a lot of people, and as it should be. African people are not supposed to be at the bottom at all. It's been forced. So African people are starting to take their assertiveness and take back their power. And for everybody on the planet, that's a threat because everybody has got rich off of African people's backs.
Yeah.
And that's gonna have to stop. That's a fact. So as you take back your power and your self-respect, the disrespect of African people for so long has been the norm. It's been tolerated. And now, we're saying no more. No more will we be disrespected. Especially when we sit on the damn. Go ahead.
It comes from a point of jealousy, It's all jealousy.
It is because the jealousy. Because the whole thing, they were trying to wipe us out. They were trying to wipe out. See, they wanted Africa without the African. The jealousy. You sit on the richest continent on the planet. Everybody has benefited from Africa, but the African the last 500 years. Africa was never poor. How can we poor? It's the richest continent on the planet. That's no one's gonna even dispute that. No one's gonna dispute that.
Currently, I'm doing some school program, teaching the children about RBG, Black Liberation. I'm also doing this.
That's what's up.
Last time I talked about the 12th of Alam, the Ubuntu Solidarity Alam. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, so this daily alarm is helping us, keeping us on track. When it rings daily, we can reflect on people like Brother Malcolm, Baba Malcolm,
The Mau movement.
Kwame Nkrumah, such people, Sankara, and also Traore.
Lumumba,
Lumumba, so the daily alarm, right now I'm spreading it in the schools, and we are having, it's really, the kids are learning the things the mainstream education.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh man, that's awesome. They're allowing you in the schools? They're not giving you any pushback? They're allowing you in the school? This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to this, I'm entering the message of Ubuntu. Ubuntu is taught in school, but in a different way. Now, when I talk about my entry point is Ubuntu. So when I start teaching about Ubuntu, I teach about Ubuntu, and I move about Pan-Africanism and Africa unity, and then I start, bringing out these strong figures like Malcolm, like Khalid Muhammad, these figures.
Khalid Muhammad. I love that, Khalid Muhammad. I know you don't know about Khalid Muhammad. Watch out. Khalid the war. They killed his ass. They got rid of his ass. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to be by you. Khalid Muhammad. Yeah. That's one of my heroes there. That's one of my heroes.
I want to go to the streets and call for maybe at least 100 people set the alarms. 100 people set the alarm as we celebrate 100 years of Malcolm.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I guess the lights ain't coming back on. God. Oh, crazy.
What did you say? Could you say that again?
Oh, I was saying I'm trying to see if the lights are going to come back on with Irritom. Right, not over there.
You need a generator in the studio. We bought a certain generator.
I gotta get one. I got no choice because this is over and over and over and over again. It's too many times. This is insane.
Baba Sadiki? Brother Sadiki?
Brother Sadiki, who's that?
He's from the States, and he was in the UNIA.
Okay, okay, the UNIA. That was I had a brain for that was Marcus Garvey's movement.
Yes. You.
I don't think I'm familiar with his name is Siddiqui.
Well, like his official name is William.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Brother Sadiki.
You're breaking up. Say it again. You're breaking up. Say it again. His name. What's his name
maybe
again?
I can share. Brother Sadiki, but official name is William E. Maxon.
William who? William what? Say it again.
Maxon.
Maxim?
William E. Maxon. Maxon, yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell. But you're breaking up a little bit, but it doesn't ring a bell. William Maxim. Where's he out of? Where's he out of? What city or state is he out of? You know?
Well, he He came. He's coming to Kenya, and he's trying to relocate to Kenya.
Okay, cool.
Why I was asking whether you know him because he also had an issue with the electricity, and he got himself a generator in the city. And I was trying to see whether he can tell me something about it.
No. I know nothing. No, I don't know who that is, but I can get a generator. Not a problem with getting a generator. Yeah, because I ain't a problem with getting a generator. It's just that Joby didn't want me to get one. She said people were going to be jealous and stuff. I was like, I keep getting a generator. People get jealous. I was like, what?
No, don't be motivated. You go get it. Go for it.
I know. Exactly. I said, why should I care if people get jealous? What's that got to do with me?
They're gonna pull up. They're gonna have to pull up themselves.
Yeah. I said, why do I care whether they care? Because I think it might be difficult because it's happening too frequently now. Life is going off too damn frequently now. So I have no choice but to go get it. And then, so you're exactly right. Hey, do you know about there's another brother I interviewed years ago. You know about the he's came to Kenya a bunch of times. He goes by the name of Irritated Genie. You heard of that brother?
By the name?
Irritated Genie.
Never heard of him.
Oh, and he uses the Kenyan freedom fighter Io Kamathi's name.
I've never heard of him.
Oh, you haven't? He calls himself Io Kamathi too. So yeah, he was taken off YouTube and every social media years ago because of what he talks about, because of what the African, love for African people and the strive for Africa to wake up and take back its power. But he's been to Kenya a bunch of times as well, doing conferences over there. I don't know if because I know he's not on YouTube. I seen him on Facebook still. I don't know. If you ever get a chance, look up the name Irritated Genie. And he goes by the Mama revolutionary Io Kamathi. So, but his nickname is Irritated Genie. And he's been doing good work inside of Africa. That's why he lost his career. They fired him from his job. Got rid of him from his position. And he's been doing a lot of good work in Africa as well. Trying to wake our people up in Kenya, Zimbabwe, Ghana. So I'm surprised you haven't heard of him.
I've not heard of him.
Yeah, I haven't talked to the brother in years though, but he was doing good work in Africa, Uganda.
Maybe you can share some of his social media profile with the sister, and she can share it with me, please.
Yeah. That's what I try to do. I try to. He was kicked off all social media. I seen him. I think he had a renewed Facebook account, but he was kicked off of YouTube, kicked off of Twitter, like we got kicked off of Twitter. He was kicked off of Instagram. So he was running his own site. But I think he's still on Facebook. So I found a new channel with him on Facebook. But I'm not sure if it's still there or not. But I should airtime and give it to you. And check the brother out.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's been doing good work in Africa as well. He's got a revolutionary spirit as well. But I'll check this other brother out. What's he say his name again? William Malcolm?
William E. Maxon. William E. Maxon. Also
William E. Maxim. I've never heard of the brother. Is he in Kenya right now, brother? Is he living in Kenya now?
At the moment, he's in the States, but he's just planning on moving in.
Yeah. I'm about to buy a house in Kenya myself. I'm about a house in Kenya and Tanzania. So I can go back and forth.
You also know? Do you know about this organization, Team RBG?
Who say it again? Who is it?
There's an
Our connection is so bad. I can barely get going in and out.
organization called Team RBG. Have you heard of it?
No, I've never. We know RBG is the red, black, and green, but no, I've never heard of that. You know, tell Airtime to send me some information, and I'll look it up, brother. Now, I've never heard of it.
Okay, I'm a member of Team RBG. They're organizing from the States.
Okay, that's what's up. No, I've never heard. No, I've never heard of it. Yeah, tell Airtime to send me some information on it so I can get myself educated about it.
Okay, I'll share it to the sister, or maybe she can share. She can give me your number. I'll give it to you. I'll send you some links.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be much appreciated. So, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Airtime's not coming back. We've been an hour, 36 minutes on here. So say much love, family. I'm gonna Airtime. Give Airtime those numbers for you, brother. I'll give Airtime my number to give to you. Okay.
All right, peace. That's peace. That's building.
Yes, that's building. That's what we got to do as African people. I love you, brother. So much love, family. And I holler at everybody. I don't know if we come back on tonight, like it said the brother. We don't got the generator, so we don't know if the lights are coming back on in the studio or not.
No problem.
So much love. Yeah, much love, family. I'll holler at everybody later. Peace, y'all.